or a candidate per se, but just ensuring clean elections. What has been your experience so far?
You see, when we started this campaign, our major concern was that there has been complaints in that in all the elections in Punjab, the liquor and the drugs are freely distributed. And the surveys in some de-addiction centers shows that some of the youth took on to the drugs during the elections. So we thought that we will start a campaign that against the distribution of the drugs or the liquor in the sgpc elections. So we started this campaign on 6th of August. 7th August was the first announcement which we have made. At that time, the media was saying and the people were saying that now the candidates have been nominated, and as per the previous practice, I mean, even if it's a municipal election, it's a parliament election, it's assembly election, the moment the candidates file their nominations, the distribution of drugs and the liquor start. So that was the complaints which we were facing. So when we started, we announced this campaign that we will go all out, we will blacklist the candidate whosoever distribute the liquor, and also that we will file the complaint to the Election Commission, we will get him disqualified. If need be, we will go to the High Court and Supreme Court also. Now with this kind of a thing, and alongside we also started that we call the candidates that let them swear that they will, none of them will distribute. Because we found that if all the candidates decide that they will not distribute, then at least this problem can be solved there and then. So we formed the district committees in all the 22 districts.
Mr. Phoolka, I would just like to ask one thing. Is liquor is the only issue that you are catering to, or there are several other issues which you think might?
There are many issues, but we decided, we formed, this is a coordination committee which we fought initially, that was of 40 organizations, which is the Sikh bodies and the social organizations, and now it is it is enlarged to 80 organizations. But we decided that one issue which we take up on the top priority and mainly is this the issue of the drugs and the liquor, and we could name this as a Nasha Mukt Punjab campaign. Now till now we have not received even a single complaint from any of the districts. I mean, some of our monitoring committees have been so active that they even sent some of their own people to the candidates कि कोई हमें शराब दो या हमें कोई drugs दो, with that kind of a thing. So everybody was saying, we are sorry, we don't want our nomination to be rejected. So this is the kind of the impression, this is the kind of the threat which is gone.
And which are the other issues that you have encountered? Like you're telling us about, whenever you've been there and you have told them, you've asked them specifically that, we have to do these things and we have to, address several.
You see, there has been many other
and the publicity issue.
There has been many complaints from many places about the list, that the voter list are not properly prepared. So we met the election commission and we requested the election commission to announce it that this is the duty of the electoral officer to prepare the proper voter list. If the electoral officer fail in the duty, then the action would be taken. And we are glad that the election commission declared it. And now also some of the complaints of some votes, some complaint is of duplicate vote. Even today only I received a complaint from the constituency Talwandi Pai and Firozpur district that there has been a large scale of duplicate votes. So we have asked them to send it to us. So we will also complain to the election commission. And so there has been various other things. But primarily we have been concentrating on the distribution of the liquor and the drugs.
Mr. Phoolka, you also flagged the issue of defacement of public property by the candidates to the Gurdwara elections also, in fact to the Commissioner of Gurdwara elections also. So has the issue been addressed to your satisfaction first? To
a large extent. I would say the success is about 80 to 90%. I won't say it's 100%, but it's definitely. So we requested, our delegation met the Chief Commissioner and he was kind enough to agree to it, and he made an announcement not once, even twice he made the announcement. And after that we also made an announcement that 2 days time has been given, which expired on 8th of September. From 9th onward, if we find any board or any poster at a public place, then we will complain to the election commission. We will get the nomination paper of the member rejected or disqualified. That we may. But now we send the message all across. Today the people came to us from Moga I mean, and
Okay,
then from Ludhiana, then from from Jalandhar also we got the message.
So you think
Bathinda also.
this has
that
made a big
mainly,
difference?
primarily 80% of the boards and the posters are gone. Now about 10 to 20% remain there, either in the interiors and
So it's made a difference.
It has made a tremendous difference.
So, sir, so Mr. Phoolka, has it been like your efforts made any difference to the conduct of candidates and the polls?
You say conduct of the candidates in our many meetings in the districts, like in Barnala, and it happened in Mansa, and even it happened in Ludhiana. I mean, the candidates came and in the Gurdwara in front of Guru Granth Sahib on their own. They said, "We swear that we will not distribute any kind of nasha." So they on their own came. So at many places we find that even the candidates are happy. They don't have to incur more expenses.
They are themselves coming up and
many of them they don't have to. They don't want to do it. What happens that if there are 3 candidates contesting in the election, if one starts distributing, the others too, per force, they do it. Unless one is, they are so strong, they will say, I prefer to lose rather than indulging in this kind of activities.
Okay.
So there are very few of that kind. Otherwise, per force, the other also has to do it. But when none of them is doing it, so this is by and large, this is a check. And this is what's happening now in these elections till now.
Mr. Phoolka, what has been the success rate, when we talk about taking up the matter,
No, as far as the distribution of the liquor is concerned, or distribution of the drugs is concerned, which they call it a dry fruit, that's what we were told, this the language. I mean, I would say the success rate is tremendous. There has not been any complaint of any open distribution.
When we compare it to the previous times and now, this year.
You see, the previous elections has been the municipal elections or the previous parliament elections, there was rampant use of these intoxicants. But now there has been a check to a great extent. Now, like today, the people came to us from Moga district, and they told us not about distribution, but they told us the chemists are selling off the counter some drugs without prescription, which the youth is taking, like the tablets or the cough syrup, and they are doing it. So I spoke to the drug controller, Mr. Singla, today, and he showed that he is sending his inspector, and he will raid these chemist shops. So these are in addition to this elections, this is also doing it. That was precisely the idea, to create a kind of a setup, now to work for the elections, after that to work it as a pressure, kind of activate the civil society.
Thank you, Mr. Phoolka, and coming to the studios and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.